All right, welcome back. We are recording. This is our first time using StreamYard, so please excuse us if it doesn't sound right or look right. We're trying. We're really trying. Uh, with me is the younger boy.
Yay.
Y-
Yippee.
You're excited. You love movies. You really
Yeah.
do. So we're just going to talk about mostly horror movies. We may throw in some other ones. But this year, you've really gone on a horror journey. What made you do that?
Well, you were watching the not a marathon, but you were just watching horror movies, so I joined in. And I know you rewatched The Exorcists, so I watched some of those. And then we just had the streaming releases, so those were more easily available, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So that's and I know Renfield was streaming. So there's a lot of movies with streaming or they're being shown in theaters again.
Now, it's funny. You crack me up with horror movies, and I'm not judging you. It's funny. You have right now you have a harder time with um like ghost stories or ooga booga where they come
Yeah,
out and like scare you, but you just don't seem to have a problem with like gore.
I it's different. Like gore can just be, I mean, both can be over the top, but gore you can kind of just like, okay, that's gross and move on. But if it's ghosts, it can be creepier, scarier, I think.
That's true. That's true. And I can see that you're getting a little glitchy, but we're just going to keep rolling with it.
Okay.
Um yeah, that's it's funny that you're like that. I'm sure that may change, as you get older. But yeah, so what do you want to start? Oh, actually I wanted to ask you a question before we start.
Yeah.
Okay, you're under 20 years
Hmm.
old.
Yeah.
For the most part, what do kids your age find scary?
That changes, I think, with every new big release. I
Okay.
know Talk to Me was pretty big, but I haven't heard anyone really talk about it. I would probably say I know people have been talking about Five Nights at Freddy's, the biggest. That's like the biggest movie I've heard about.
Mhm. Okay, I'm sorry. Continue on with talk to me.
Well, Talk to Me isn't really talked about. It's more Five Nights at Freddy's.
That's interesting. So kids your age are into Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
that's just what it is, I guess.
Yeah,
I'm
cuz
not big into it, but some people are.
that makes sense, I guess, because your older brother I think was too old when it came out. So that's
Yeah.
right around your age range. Okay. Now, what about a movie like okay, how about Evil Dead Rise? Is that something that was like very popular and scary?
I've only heard one other person talk about it, so it's I don't think it's a school wide thing
Okay.
when it
All
came out.
right. I'm just wondering what kids your age find scary. How about like Exorcist, the new Exorcist? Have you
I
heard
haven't
any?
heard anybody talk about it.
That's fun. That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what did you want to talk about first?
Uh, let's do Exorcist 3,
Yeah.
but then we can go back to the others.
Okay. So you want to start with part 3?
Yeah.
Because you watched 1
Okay.
and 3 and then
Yeah.
bailed on the others. But go ahead, start. What'd you think?
I think 3 was really good. It started off slow, which I didn't mind. I didn't expect it to be more of a detective movie. I thought it was going to be more like possession, like the first one, and it was good. It was I liked. What was the main actor's name?
George C. Scott.
George C.
I
Scott.
don't Yeah, I don't remember
He
his
was
name
really
name.
good. It was like his name started with a K. I don't remember his character's name.
Kinnaman?
And yeah,
Kinnerman?
something like that.
Mhm.
And I just liked how they never show this killer. He's trying to track down this Gemini killer. They never really show him up until the one scene. I don't know if we're talking spoilers.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Um,
So whatever movies we talk about,
yeah.
there are going to be spoilers.
Okay.
FYI, go ahead.
So it's just like when it's what you call it? I'm trying to remember when they're in the what's it called when you go to like confess, get the confession little room.
Oh, like in church?
Yeah, in the
Yeah, yeah.
church.
Uh-huh.
So they're in the
The confessional?
yeah confessional. So there's the main priest guy, and then somebody else you don't see, and it just gets increasingly creepier
Yeah.
because it goes from okay, I'm this old lady to like okay, I just killed this like waitress in this park, and then that happens, and it keeps going to like driving ingots in kids' eyes and beheading them or
But
paralyzing them.
they never show any of it,
Yeah,
huh?
they never show it. It's just like you just know it happened.
And it's still very effective.
Yeah, and then that leads to well, it the whole time, mostly the whole time, they're in this main hospital, and he's just trying to find clues as to like who could this be,
Yeah.
and you get this. I don't know what you'd call it, because it wasn't like one take or anything. It was just still like the camera didn't move, and you just watch this nurse
Oh, yeah, yeah.
like move around, and then there's this jump scare in this room, and you're like, okay, maybe that's gonna be the big scare,
You
and
thought,
then
okay,
and then
we're
there is
good.
the big scare after that, where he just comes out of the room with shears,
Yeah.
and then it cuts to um the statue with the head removed, which I
Right.
showed earlier. So that was pretty good.
And
Um,
Brad Dourif is so good.
yes, he was very good in this. And you had, well, I was gonna say the Hereditary scene, but this was before Hereditary,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
where
The
the
climbing.
like the person's climbing on the wall. I was like, okay, that's very similar, but this would be
Yeah.
before that. So Hereditary would be similar to this.
Yeah.
Um, that was kind of creepy. It didn't look great. It looked fine, but I mean, this was like 90s. When's it come out? If you
That's a
remember.
good question. Maybe early 90s?
Okay.
I don't know for sure. No, 80s? I don't know. I'm afraid to mess with the computer and look.
So I was gonna go 90s,
Hmm.
and so you had that scene, and then It turns out that Brad Dourif plays the killer, but he's also in the body of the priest from the first movie, and he's possessing all these people in the hospital.
Mm.
And so this person kills a nurse, takes her outfit, and then drives to the detective's house to try to kill his daughter,
Hmm.
and then gets stopped. First
The
gets
character,
stopped. Yeah.
no, the character work, the character development in this one was really good. I think with this probably goes for all movies, but especially with like the exorcism movies, like you can have strong characters, which works. You can have a strong possession story that works. But then there's like the rare occasion when you have a strong characters,
Mm.
and then a strong exorcism story.
Yeah.
Like that's the rare case where they both just blend in and work so well. And I think that's what the first Exorcist did. It just blended that so well, as compared to say the new Exorcist movie that really kind of almost failed on both accounts.
Mm.
But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was a good movie. I liked it. I liked that it was a different story, kind of. You had the priest from the first movie come back. That's pretty much all that connects it: the stairs and the priest. And then it's pretty much just a detective movie. But it was good.
Remember,
I
we
Yeah.
were talking. No, go ahead, honey. I'm sorry.
Well, what were you saying? Because that's pretty much it.
Remember when we were watching all the Exorcist movies?
Mhm.
So the first one is the first one, and
Yeah.
then like the second one is totally off the wall, and then
Yeah.
you and your brother stayed for about 20
Okay.
minutes.
I got the gist. It was Pazuzu, and he was flying, and they were making weird sounds, and people were falling off cliffs,
Oh
and it
yeah,
was goofy.
that movie is
Yeah.
bizarre. So yeah, you and
Um,
your brother ducked out on that one.
yeah.
I don't blame you.
But we
Go ahead.
watched. Were you gonna go to the fourth one?
Yeah, I was going to go to the
Yeah.
fourth one. So then we go to the third one, which is kind of a detective story with possession.
Mhm.
And then we go to like 4A and 4B because they're kind of the same thing. Um did you watched most of it or no? I don't remember if you
Most
ducked
of
out.
four I saw up until um I think the bed with the netting, and it started to like
Oh,
rise. I didn't
uh-huh.
get super far. It was okay. It wasn't
Yeah,
great, but
you watched the Rennie Harlan one.
oh, he directed that.
Yes. So, okay, the way I understand it is the director Paul Schrader, he did the
Yeah.
first one,
Mm.
which was the beginning, like Exorcist, the beginning. And the studio said, no, we don't like this. So they hired Rennie Harlan to kind of remake it. Like there's a couple scenes that are the same, but it's almost all the same actors, but
Mm.
it's a different vibe. I enjoy the Paul Schrader one more. It's a little boring, but it's a lot better character development. The one that we watched was the more action packed one. That was more like a kind of Indiana Jones exorcism movie.
Yeah. Well, that yeah. It was just the older priest from the first one, but he's like what you said. He's basically just Indiana Jones, and he tries to find, or they find this like tomb, go inside of it, and left off. So I'm guessing just spooky things happened.
Yeah, and it was more action packed, whereas the other one didn't have a lot of stuff inside that tomb. It was just more character development. The other one, the Rennie Harlan one, got a little goofy.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, are you going to watch the new one eventually or no?
It doesn't look interesting. I just keep.
You,
Yeah.
go ahead.
That's it. What were you gonna say?
No, I think you should watch it just to watch it. It's. I was thinking about this the other night because I couldn't sleep.
Mm.
The new Exorcist movie is like this. It's like if you went to Menchie's, which is a yogurt place, right?
Yeah.
If you don't know, you go to Menchie's and you just get vanilla yogurt. You don't
Mm.
like get a nice combo or anything.
Mm.
You just get vanilla yogurt. And then you're walking along the little line where all of the extras are, and you
Mm.
no Heath Bar Crunch, no Butterfinger, no peanuts, no sliced strawberries. You just walk up to the scale next to the register and you just have vanilla yogurt. That's what Exorcist the Beginning is. It's just bull.
Wait, I thought you were talking about the new one.
That is what I'm talking about.
The
What I
new one's
say?
not. New one's Believer.
What I say?
Beginning.
Believer. That's what I meant. That's what Exorcist Believer is. It's
Yeah.
just bleh. Um I would have preferred if they just stayed because I'm not giving anything away here for you, but
Well,
um
you already kind of did, but yeah.
okay. Um the movie starts in Haiti. I would have preferred they just stayed in Haiti and told a Haitian exorcism movie instead of just kind of telling a watered down whatever it was. Like go to a different culture and tell us their exorcism story. But whatever. It is what it is. But yeah, Exorcist 3. I'm glad you like that.
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about? It's up to you.
Well, we didn't talk about one. I have that on here too.
Go for it.
So
Yeah, what'd
one,
you think of the original?
okay, well, I've heard a bunch of stuff because it's one of like the biggest movies ever. It's so popular. Uh, it was pretty good. I I knew coming into it, it wasn't gonna be like like Conjuring as an example. It's not gonna be like ooh, like just jump scares. It was more just these characters, and it's very real. It's very down to earth, and it's just okay. This daughter gets kind of possessed. Like, what's the mom gonna do? How many options does she have? What is she gonna resort to? And then she ends up finding Karis, and even he's in even like the greatest state of mind because his I think was grandma
I think that
was
was
his
his
mom.
mom.
His
Yeah, I think
mom.
that.
His mom just died, and so he's kind of out of it. And then the old guy from four, well, he's in this first. He comes in and he gets killed, which they explained apparently in in one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it was good. It's like all the actors were great. It was I wouldn't say it was scary. It was kind of creepy, but I think that's just I'm more used to the like Conjuring movies where it's just more straight scares and not like just playing tricks.
And that's the thing. Newer audiences, like especially in your age range, I think it's really awesome that you enjoyed it and found it creepy because that's kind of the problem now. There have been so many spooky movies, scary movies, exorcist movies. Like it's almost like you've seen it all, you know. So going back to something like this, where it's a much simpler story, but a complex story,
Yeah,
I think it's. I'm really happy that you got something out of it.
yeah. I liked that. I you could see it different ways. Apparently, the way I saw the ending was so Karis tells the demon to like go into him instead of Reagan, and then he's gonna like kill her because it's from his point of view, and if you see his eyes turn normal, and he jumps out the window, and I wasn't expecting it at all. Like that was very surprising, but it was nice seeing him take back control. But he
Hmm.
sacrificed himself to save this girl,
Yeah,
and so that was nice. And well, I mean, it wasn't nice. I mean, he died, but it was a nice act. And then his friend comes down the steps. He's at the bottom of the steps, and he gets what does he do? He's like, oh, he holds his hand,
oh, he was
and he's like,
praying. He was praying with
yeah.
him.
And so that was nice, and I liked seeing how the friend was affected by it. He doesn't want to go down the steps anymore. He was, and that's how the movie ends. It's just he's at the steps, and he's always gonna remember like his friend died here, and the house too. Um, it was good. It
Yeah.
was simple, but it was told well. I liked all the characters. Um, yeah, it was good.
And it's a story that you could go back and watch and watch. We watched the theatrical version,
Yeah,
and you could get something different out of it, especially as you grow older, get a little wiser about things. Like, you know, you could watch it when you're 25 and see things differently. You could watch it when you're 45, see things a
mm,
little differently. It's one of those movies.
yeah.
Is there anything
So,
else you wanted to say about any of the Exorcist movies?
no, 1 and 3 were really the only ones I saw, and
Oh,
2 was well, it wasn't good. I can say that it was not good.
it's something. I had a hard time getting
Yeah,
through. Like I had seen it a while ago and I couldn't believe what I watched. I was like, "What?"
yeah,
And then I barely made it through. this last viewing.
Mm.
You know what you should watch on Shudder is
Yeah,
the Leap of Faith documentary with William Friedkin,
I
where he
saw some of it with you, but it was just like the tail end.
you should watch the whole thing. It's very good.
Um, I would say the only part in two I liked, not even, it wasn't even part. It was just like a set. I liked the like all the kids were there. They were
Hmm.
kind of like they needed more help, and it looked weird. It looked cool. It was like a what would you call it? It wasn't like a science room, but it was all
Was that
glass.
oh, where they were in the office?
Yeah, the office. It was like all glass. It looked cool. I don't know. I'm kind of just reaching here for anything I liked.
You like the
It's
office
like
set.
the movie's terrible, but I like this one scene with this really cool glass office. That's all I can
Yeah.
say.
Well, you found something
Yeah.
positive. Good job.
Um, okay. Do you want to
What
go to
you
something next? Since I chose.
I don't care. Go for it. Like talk what about I'll talk about whatever.
All right. So let's go to No One Will Save You. Let's go to that next.
The Alien movie.
Yes.
Got you. Okay. Yes. Go for it. What would you think?
You don't want to go first? I went first last time.
Yeah, I don't care. I took little notes, but let's see. I want to see if there was anything that I wanted to. Oh, here. As far it's a net. It was Netflix, Hulu,
It was Hulu.
Hulu.
Yeah.
It was very effective. Those were some of the spookiest
Mm.
alien scenes I've ever seen. Just the way the camera was set up in the house. The camera shot, the shots, and
Mm.
the angles, and it was just really creepy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else. The performances were good. She
Mm.
didn't speak until did she speak at all? I don't remember.
It might have been only like a whisper. Yeah, I didn't hear anything. It was just a whisper, or she was like afraid.
Yeah. And now I have to be honest, I have no idea what happened at the end of this movie.
Yeah.
I haven't looked up like anyone else's reviews or
Yeah.
anything to see like, hey, this is what the director meant. I was just like, I don't know what just happened, but those aliens were spooky.
Yeah. I was that, or was that all the notes?
That's it.
That's it. I really liked Caitlin Dever. She played Bren, main character.
Oh, the main girl?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
she was great, and she kind of had to be really good to carry, like, to express the emotions of this character. So it couldn't have been just her being all quiet the whole movie, which it pretty much was. But
That's a wonderful point. She really had to be a strong actress to pull that off.
I liked, like you said, the alien scenes were pretty good. I would say towards the second half, it just goes into. I wouldn't say it goes into it's not set up, or to where it's kind of just convenient, because they set up all of, like, you had the lighter in the car, you had not the knife, it was like something for the dresses she made, which she stabbed into the alien. That was set up. All this was
Yeah.
set up, but it just got increasingly harder for the character, and then she kind of just comes out of it. Oh, since we're talking spoilers, like you have the mantis creature that runs at her. You have she gets stabbed by her doppelganger, which I thought it would end there. There's like
Oh
4 or 5
yeah.
different scenes I thought it would just end, but it just keeps going until it reaches them dancing at the end, which is a bit
Yeah, that
goofy.
part. I didn't get that, but that's okay.
I could see what they were going for with it being trauma. She had a bunch of trauma, and the aliens didn't want to infect her. She had trauma.
Yeah, but no one else had trauma. Like I'm not.
Everybody else, they can
I'm.
just die.
I'm just trying to understand. Like other people have trauma.
Yeah.
What? Why was it just her? Is it because she didn't she have a thing where she was trapped in the town or? She felt trapped.
I don't remember.
I don't remember. Anyway.
I yeah, I liked her performance. I liked the first half, especially the first alien scene. That was great. I liked, like you said, the cameras, especially the bus scene. I remember
Oh yeah.
he was focusing on the like entrance of the bus, and it zooms out super far, and she's running towards the camera. I just remember that. That was
Hmm.
cool. I think once the clouds set in and you saw like the mothership, that's where it kind of dipped.
Okay.
Um, and I've seen, especially on Letterboxd, I've seen people like, okay, they love it, or they kind of just hate it. I haven't really seen any like mixed reviews. Um, I thought it was fine. I didn't think it was amazing, but it was a good alien movie.
Yeah, it was good. I
Yeah,
agree with you. I thought it was entertaining, and that's kind of all I want really from movies
yeah,
anymore. Just entertain me. Like, and this one wowed me a little bit with the aliens. I was like, oh
yeah.
gosh.
It
Remember
was that was creepy.
we were watching it, and I'm like, oh my goodness. Like I was constantly yelling out at the screen.
Yeah, just they were running too, which I didn't expect.
Yes. Yes. And
Um,
they were different types.
yeah, you had the little one, normal one, the mantis. Well, that's kind of it. The people. I think that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
All
that
right,
was good. I recommend that one.
move on to the next movie.
Go for it.
Okay, let's do Phantom of the Mall, Eric's Revenge.
Yes. How fun was that movie?
That was fun.
It
That was
was.
I thought it might be atrociously bad, but it was very good.
It
It was
was.
it wasn't like actually good. It was just very cheesy. I mean, okay, if you're going with Phantom Opera, but it's in a mall and it's like 80s,
Uh-huh. Keep
there's a
going.
certain point it can reach like the peak of quality. And I'm trying to find a way to explain this. Like, don't go into it thinking it's gonna be a masterpiece because it's not. Just
But
have fun with it.
it almost is in a way. It's like an 80s masterpiece.
Mm.
Like just the whole vibe of it. You're in the mall
Yeah,
and it's the 80s and it's like cheesy in a way, but everything works so well.
yeah. I I didn't get that the mall's built on his house. I didn't get that first. I was like, okay, how is he getting gym equipment in there? But apparently he already had it in there, and he had a really, really nice couch, but there was like dirt and grime everywhere. Like, okay, you can't go. I can't go that far because
Remember
it's a
we
good,
were
yeah,
remember we were watching it and we were both like, how did he get that in there?
yeah.
And then we
That
were
was
like,
spooky.
oh, okay.
Um, I liked. Hmm, who was there? Was another actor.
Polly Shore?
No, like we both knew him. It wasn't Ken Frey, was it?
He was in it. Yeah, he was
But he
one of
was
the
okay.
security guards.
He
Yeah.
was in it, and I think he lived, so that's good.
Yeah, I think he
Um,
did live.
that's just like a really like minor role, kind of. That was good. I liked the design of Eric. Surprisingly, he didn't look. I mean, most of the scenes were filmed from behind, but he didn't look terrible. The makeup didn't look bad. Um, the kills were fun.
They were. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, the guy ran by the forklift, electrocuted, and his eyeballs pop out into the ice cream supply.
Yeah.
That was that was funny. Um,
The snake?
oh yeah, he was like, oh, he was so over the top. Um, oh yeah, the guy pulled into the elevator. I thought he was gonna go in between the steps. I was like, that's gonna be another level if they do that. But he just gets his like neck snapped. It was
The
his
escalator?
yeah.
Was it?
It,
Oh, okay. All
it
right.
was the son. He was
Oh,
like,
yeah, yeah.
shove it, dad. And he like flipped the milk or he was like he flipped the milk or something. He's like he tied his tie and he walked off. It was weird.
He was really over the top.
You had the body falling down from the ceiling, and he's just standing there. He's like, okay, I'm just gonna like not call any police because he wants to maintain the mall.
Yeah.
Um,
Morgan Fairchild, she was good.
yeah. What else? You had the it's like the main bad guy besides Eric, which he's kind of in the middle. He
Not
had
the
the earring.
son?
No, he had the earring. He was like hunting him. They were in the car chase.
Oh, that guy. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Uh-huh.
And he gets his head crushed, which I thought would be a lot more gross. It was like,
Yeah.
meh. And he appears out of nowhere, jumps on the car, and the car flips over, and it just explodes. So it's cool.
It was cool. That one's on Shudder as well. And I think it's Arrow. I picked it up. Arrow has a nice release, and they have 3 versions. They have like the theatrical version, there's I think a TV cut, and then there's a cut that blends those two. But that was super fun.
Yeah.
We had a blast with that one.
And I like that they didn't go for a sequel. For a movie that sounds like it's a sequel, it's not.
No, it's
one
not.
movie.
But when you think about it, like
Yeah.
I can honestly like sit back and say, oh, well, he is getting revenge. So it
Yeah.
is Eric's revenge.
It's
but
one movie.
It's one
Yeah.
movie.
And then I like that they showed him in the end. He's dead. Like it just stays there, and you're like, okay, is he no besides? Oh, okay, the movie ends. He's dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
I liked the stunt at the end where they're above, and he grabs like the banner hanging, and he goes through the air, crashes into a dude. They crash in the store, and he gets like the weed. It wasn't a weed whacker. It was like a flamethrower or something.
Yeah,
and
I don't
it, like,
remember.
blows up the entire floor. That was cool.
It's good. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's really good. Okay. All right. How about I have one?
Yeah.
How about Christine? We went.
Oh well.
Well, it was a Fathom event.
Hmm?
Our local, well, almost in our area, we have almost all Regals, but we had the Fathom event, and Christine was playing. It was fun. That was a good time.
I've seen it before, so it wasn't my first time seeing it. It's, I don't know. It's probably one of Carpenter's better films. It's not my favorite, but it's up there. I liked the car. They don't really. It's not really ham-fisted the way they introduce it. They just play bad to the bone, and you see the car. It's different from all the others. It's red. It's not just like beige or whatever the other cars were, and you know immediately, okay, this is a like bad car. Something's gonna happen with this. And then you end up seeing what was the main guy's name? Guy with glasses.
Yeah, Keith Gordon played the role, but darn it, I don't remember his name in the movie. Anyway, his character was great. You could see his transformation, but you know what I really liked is we don't have a whole backstory about the car. It just is what it is. It's just it's an evil car.
No backstory. It just kills people, and then you see how the kind of old guy gets it, and then how the car like tracks the bullies, kills them. You get the gas station scene where it flies out and it looks cool.
Oh yeah.
I think that highway scene might be my favorite, where you get the gas station and then it's just the music, the guy running, and you don't see it. You don't see the car run over. You kind of see like him in flames.
Oh yeah.
And
it's great.
You know it's gonna catch up.
Mm-hmm.
He's not escaping it.
No, it takes out all those guys.
Yeah.
What do you call them? Shitters?
Yeah. That was good.
Arnie.
Oh, yeah. Arnie Cunningham.
There you go.
Yeah, 'cause that's the same name it ends. That's a different movie. We'll get to that later.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the ending where it shows it unraveling, which I don't mind. I mean, it's creepy, I guess,
Yeah.
but it's,
The
it's yeah.
the Blu-ray for Christine, there's a really good audio commentary with John Carpenter and
Mhm.
Keith Gordon. Usually John Carpenter includes commentaries on all of the movies. Oh, now I'm gone.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
yeah.
Okay. So, but that commentary in particular is really good. I would recommend giving that one a listen.
All right.
Son,
Yeah.
there is no possible way that it is the next day and we are picking up where we left off and we're about to
Most
talk
yeah.
and
As yeah.
we're about to talk about Evil Dead Rise and some maybe the Evil Dead movies. There's no possible way that just happened.
Nope. It's magic.
It is magic. It's movie magic. So go ahead. Let's talk about Evil Dead Rise or any of the Evil Dead movies.
I'll just go straight to Rise.
Oh,
I thought it was fine. I even before we watched it together on HBO, I think it was HBO. Um, People were saying it was like the best one, or it was great, it was amazing. I just people were saying it was very good. And then we watched it, and I thought it was fine. I think it's higher up on my list, but it's definitely not the best in the whole series. I don't think. Um, that would go for Evil Dead One. I think that's my favorite. But for Rise, I liked for the most part. I like that it was more contained. Well, I mean, all of them are pretty contained in one location, except for three, because that's just medieval, and he's going to these different locations. Um, it was a lot more violent
yeah.
than than three. Then 2013 was pretty gory, so
Yeah,
that remake was
20
pretty gory.
the remake was pretty violent.
Yeah, and I liked the characters for the most part. The gore was nice, really bloody. I liked the setting where it's in the like apartment building. That was pretty cool, and how all these different people, or what was it called? There's like a name for it. The residents, how they react to it, and how they eventually get killed off. That was cool to see. And you had the parking garage ending with the
Oh yeah.
chainsaw,
Yeah, yeah.
and that was cool. It was done well for the most part. I would say I don't know if it's more of a gripe or just something I didn't expect, would be that the whole movie is pretty much a flashback that leads into the intro. So they're at
Oh, the
like
lake.
the lake house, and
Mhm.
then it cuts back to the apartment building, and then at the end of the apartment building, so at the end of the movie, it possesses someone, and then that leads to the opening.
I
So I'm
totally forgot about that.
guessing they're going to continue with this, or maybe it'll be something entirely new. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
what did you
don't
think?
I thought it was fine.
Mhm.
I'm it it was I really don't have one way or the other about it. I just thought it was fine. I'm not a huge Evil Dead fan of the franchise. Not to say that it's bad in any way. It's just that the original is my favorite
Yeah.
because when I watched the Evil Dead movies, like, um, I don't know, like less than 10 years ago, I watched them for the first time.
Mm.
And um, I enjoyed the first one. I thought that was really good and creative and scary. And then it got a little goofier with the second one.
Yeah.
And then it got way goofy with the third one. I'm like, what is going on with these movies? Um, the remake was okay, and then Rise was fine.
Yeah.
I imagine they'll just keep continuing on with these movies.
And I know the director of the 2013 remake. Was it a remake or reboot?
Um, remake,
Remake.
maybe.
So, director of the 2013 remake or reboot, whichever one it is. Um, Fede Alvarez. He's directing the new Alien movie. I don't know if it has a name yet,
Okay.
but
Aren't
I'm
there a
gonna look.
couple alien things coming out? Is there like a TV show and a movie?
I've only heard the movie, but there might be a TV show.
Okay.
Um, that's just a little side note, I guess. But yeah, Rise was fine. Didn't love it, didn't hate it. Let's go to Renfield.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you want me to start? You want to
yeah.
start?
You start this time.
Renfield was fun.
Mhm.
Uh, I think Nicolas Cage, he was the highlight by
Yeah,
far. He did a really good job. It was kind of over the top. Um, but his performance was really, it was the whole kind of centerpiece of the movie. The rest was fine, but he was the star. Um, I mean, the story itself was okay,
Mhm.
but yeah, I thought it was good. I
Yeah,
want to see him in more vampire stuff. He's fun to
yeah.
watch.
I so positives. I liked the. I don't know how you'd say it. Like how they lit the sets. I guess where it was very green and purple. It was like the vampire colors you'd
Yeah.
associate with. And like you said, Nicolas Cage, he was great as Dracula. And
Hmm.
I remember he was in the conference room area where Renfield was, and he was just staring at him. And he was like nudging his eyes, like it was funny. Um,
And the set design was kind of cool too,
yeah,
because in his main lair, the whole thing was like decorated with blood bags.
yeah, that was
There was
cool.
like hundreds of them.
And the I'm guessing it was practical when he got burned, and you saw him recover from that.
Hmm.
So he's like a charred skeleton, pretty much,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
like pieces of him were still burnt, and he went back into his like normal phase. Um, yeah, I would say in the apartment scene, which you told me about, he can't enter unless he's invited, which I
Yes.
didn't I didn't know that. So
Yeah,
when you
that's
had
like
the welcome mat, that's a clever way of doing that.
it really is. It's I guess it's like vampire rule. They
Yeah,
can't go in. They can't enter a house unless they're invited.
yeah. So that was cool. It was very violent. The blood didn't look great though. It looked like very fake. It was very
Was it?
CGI.
Oh, it
So,
was. Okay, I don't remember.
like he was throwing people's arms
Oh yeah.
as spears and eating beetles and bugs. It was fine.
Yeah. Also, Aquafina, the actress. I think you know what I enjoy her in dramatic roles, like in The Farewell.
Yeah,
She was really good in that movie, and I highly recommend giving that one a watch. Um, her comedy is fine. It kind of misses for me a lot, but
yeah.
um,
Hmm.
go ahead.
Most of the time, it's just kind of
Yeah.
loud jokes, and you're supposed to like laugh at that. And sometimes it hits. Most of the time, it didn't for me.
Hmm.
And do you know the main actor's name who plays Renfield?
It's the young man from the X-Men. He played Beast.
Okay,
I don't know his name, but he was good.
yeah, yeah, it was good.
And then playing off of that, unless you want to talk about this more,
Hmm. What?
is the last voyage of the Demeter.
Oh, okay, yeah, we can go to that.
Now you dipped out. Oh my eye! You dipped out of that one.
Yes.
You didn't stay. I wish you had stayed because it got better. It is a slow burn. It really is. But
Yeah,
um,
it just it was lit well. It was kind of spooky, but it was just extremely slow,
Yes.
especially for. I think you in the beginning you already know what's going to happen to the people, and it just leads up to it, which isn't like a bad thing knowing it's going to happen. But I would have liked to see it. I'm trying to find out way to word it. I wish they hadn't shown what happens, so you, so that's at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I
so
didn't.
there's more like tension.
Yeah, I didn't know exactly. Like I thought, oh, maybe there'll be a surprise in there. Maybe
Mm,
someone lived. Um, but yeah, no, they didn't pull any punches with that.
yeah.
But it was interesting to watch how it happened and how it affected everyone on the ship. It was done well, and I think if you if you ride with it throughout the entire movie, it's worth it, but it is slow.
Mm. Yeah, well, I left, um, so I can't really say any more about it. I think
Shame.
I think the vampire it was Dracula.
Mm-hmm.
Um, didn't look terrible, looked fine,
Yeah,
especially
yeah,
since the movie was pretty dark.
yeah. The movie's
Um,
very dark.
I liked that he was like when Dracula did kill people, it was very bloody. He was like bashing the guy's head against the ship deck. So it was nice. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
he died, but it was nice to see. Um,
You
oh
liked his
yeah,
horrible death.
yeah, I,
Okay.
I like that.
Okay.
Uh, is that it, or is there anything
That's
else you want to
it.
add?
That's
All
all
right,
I got. It was good. Give it a watch.
okay,
Oh, let
yeah,
me roll with this one for a sec. I know you didn't watch this, but
mhm.
it's El Conde,
Oh
Conde.
yeah,
And I think Spanish. It's not in English, that's for sure, but I think a Spanish film. It's in black and white. It's on Netflix. It's different, and I enjoyed it. It's another slow burn,
mm,
but it's about this man, this vampire, and his life because he's been alive for, well, dead for a long time. And what he's done, and is he going to uh is he going to, end his life, but something else happens. This is a horrible recap of what happened in the
yeah.
movie. I like the way it was shot. The Really, all the characters were despicable, but there's more to it. Give it a watch. It's very good.
All right,
That's my glowing endorsement.
it was good. Watch it. People were despicable.
People despicable,
All
and
right,
they may come to horrible ends.
yeah,
And at the end of the movie, I was like, oh, well, that's an interesting way to end it, in a good way, not in a bad way.
all right.
That's El Conde, Conde, and watch the subtitles. Don't listen to it with English dub.
It probably doesn't. That probably wouldn't be a good experience.
Some people don't like the original language.
Hmm.
If it's in, I like to listen to it in the original language.
All right, let's go to. Well, oh, we were done with that, right? El Condi.
All done.
All right, let's go to. Let's go to Amityville Horror.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
okay. I forgot we watched that.
yeah.
What year was that? 70 something. The
Um.
original.
Oh well, let me look them up here.
James Brolin, Margot Kidder. I don't remember.
1979.
Okay, okay, okay. What'd you think?
It's mm, it was very well. I know this is kind of like a real event, but I know for the real event, but for the movie they were like exaggerated it heavily. Where
Hmm.
you got like the like monster in the window, and he was possessed and he tried to kill everybody. So I don't know if I like that, especially since it could have been just the family dealing with like what happened at the house before, and it could have just been without the ghosts, but then that wouldn't have been as fun if you like that
Mhm.
kind of stuff. But I liked the opening. You have the creepy like singing in the house, and it looks like it has eyes.
Oh
That
yeah,
was
yeah,
nice to
yeah.
see. Um,
The Amityville house was creepy. Just a picture of it was creepy back in
yeah,
the day.
and you had you had um, what is the main actor's name? It's not
James
James, is it?
Brolin.
James
Yeah,
Brolin.
James
Okay,
Brolin.
it's
Josh
Josh Brolin.
Brolin is
Josh
his
Brolin's
son.
his son. So you had James Brolin and actors from Superman,
Margot Kidder.
Margot Kidder,
Yeah.
and they go into the house, and I love the way they show it. The I forgot the name. Like the lady was showing them around the house, and they open the door, and it just suddenly cuts to like people getting killed, and they do that around the entire house. I think it's a good way of showing it because it's so
Hmm.
sudden. You're like, okay, that was kind of creepy. Um, you had the fly scene with the priest,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
and he stays there for a really long time. He's
yeah.
like, oh, there's like 30 flies. I'm just gonna sit here, but whatever. He goes with it, and the house tells him to skedaddle. He gets out of there,
Hey, you,
and
Scooch,
yeah,
get,
we don't like you.
get.
And then he gets out of there, and then just James Brolin gets increasingly um,
Cuckoo bird.
cuckoo bird. Yeah, he's wearing like the biker outfits. He's like, yeah,
I love his transformation
yeah,
because they really like the makeup people, whoever, James Brolin, it's just, he's a handsome man. He had a lovely head of hair. They just really enhanced that and
yeah.
made him look very handsome at the beginning of the movie. And then slowly throughout the film, he gets grosser.
Yeah, that was cool to see. Um, you had he falls through like the stairs in the basement, and
Oh
it's
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
this like tar pit.
Isn't that where hell was or like
Yeah, it was weird.
yeah.
Um, I would say besides the ending, I enjoyed it because then it just gets into kind of like oogity boogity stuff.
Yeah.
Um, and I know that the priest gets blinded, which
Yeah, he was really affected by the house.
yeah, he gets blinded, and then
And there's no coming back with him cuz
yeah,
if I remember correctly, he was in that courtyard and then the other priest
that's
came to
it. Yeah,
visit him and then he's permanently messed up, I think.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It was fun.
Yeah, it
I
was
think
fun.
we no fine.
Oh, I thought you said it was fun.
No, yeah,
It was a good time.
yeah, it was super fun.
Is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
With Amityville?
Yeah.
No, I think that's it.
Playing off of that, I don't did you see the Nun 2?
No, I saw
Okay,
the
so
first one.
real quick, the Nun 2. I had heard a lot of people say that, oh, the second one's, it's a lot better than the first one. The first one was okay, but I saw the second one. I'm like, what? I don't know what movie everyone's watching because this is horrible.
Hmm.
I just did not like the second one very much. Um, I enjoyed the first one more. The characters. I think I just enjoyed the characters more. Um, the second one was a little wonky, but that's it. That's my review of Nun 2. It's
Yeah,
wonky.
I I think the only cool scene you mentioned was one I saw, which they advertised in every trailer. Yet the like
Mhm.
the newsstand scene, the pages flipped.
Yes, now that's a cool scene.
Yeah, and I think they knew that, so like, okay, let's show this one scene, so when you get to it in the movie, you know something spooky's gonna happen. But
Yeah.
it was a cool effect, I guess, cool scene. But I didn't see
Yes.
it, so I can't really say much.
And you know what? We ended up seeing because um, I'll see some movies with your brother,
Mm.
and then I'll go with my girlfriends. There's a couple of them that like scary movies, so the three of us will go. So we go to see it, and we didn't know we bought tickets for the what's that screen called?
4DX.
DX?
Oh, you
Yeah, where
saw
this
you saw an untuned 4DX?
yeah, we had
Oh,
no idea. So it's like you had there's the screen here,
yeah.
right? And then it extends on the side, but just like on the walls of the theater. They didn't have any special screens there.
Mm.
Now that scene in particular worked really well on the 4DX. Otherwise, I wouldn't pay extra for the 4DX. It's kind of not worth it.
Mm.
Um it just extends. It extends what's going on. Um but yeah, but is it worth it for that one scene if it's in the trailers? Probably not. If you've already seen it. And then there's the spooky part which was also in the trailer where the girl like crawls in to one of the nuns rooms, and like she scans the room, and then she sees something spooky, and then she pops back out, and then it kind of lunges after her. You remember
Yeah.
that from the trailer?
Yeah, it's the way they show it. It's like, okay, something's gonna grab out because they're showing the like hole from the side, so something's gonna
Yeah.
like, ooh,
Yeah, because the way they frame it, it's like there's this much screen left, and you know something's going to come out.
yeah. So it was not great, wasn't good.
It, I mean, watch it on streaming, but it's nothing to write home about.
Better than the first.
No, I didn't think
So
so.
first was better. Okay.
I thought so. Yeah.
All
What you
right.
got?
Let's go to Texas Chainsaw 2022.
Oh, okay. Now, can we go to the original real quick because
Yeah.
you watched that? You watched
Oh,
that for the
I watched
first
a lot of
time
them. Are we talking about which ones we talking about? Because I've seen a few.
of the Texas
Yeah.
Chainsaws. Okay, yeah. Just run down
I'll go. Okay.
what
I'll
you thought.
go quick. So,
There's no rush.
um, well, I'll start with 3 since that's the one you haven't seen.
No, I haven't
Um,
seen 3.
3 was fine. It had Viggo Mortensen as one of the. I don't. It might have been the Sword family. It might have been someone else. So one of the 2 families, and he was kind of crazy. Because he was at this gas station, and um, he saves because like you think he's a good guy, he's not. He saves the main couple, the wife from like this guy was perving on her through the bathroom stall,
Gross.
and so uh, he starts to like just tell the gas station owner to stop. Gas station owner comes out with a shotgun, and you think he dies. You think Viggo Mortensen dies, and then Leatherface comes in, but he's wearing like something on his leg because his
He
legs
comes into
kind
the
of.
bathroom.
No, this is later. They're in
Oh,
the forest now. I should have mentioned that. They
oh,
stop in the forest.
I thought he was getting pervy in the
No,
bathroom too.
he probably
That
was.
would have been funny.
Yeah, and they're in this like lake area. Leatherface um comes back, and he has this like uh golden chainsaw. It's weird. And so Ken Frey is fighting Leatherface with the golden chainsaw in the lake, and you think Ken
Wait,
Frey dies.
where did he get a golden
He just has it.
chainsaw?
He just has it.
Did he spray paint it?
I don't know. He just has the chainsaw, and you think Ken Frey dies, and the wife like beats Leatherface, and it's a bit weird, and it
Sure.
wasn't good.
Okay.
It was not good.
After all that, it wasn't
Yeah.
good. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how'd you like the original?
The original was great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd rewatch it, but it was great.
What
I
did
like, yeah.
what did your friend, because you watched it with your friends, what did they say after you
Oh,
watched it?
the first one?
Yeah.
They, I don't think they liked it.
What did they called it something though? Do you remember?
Um, I don't.
You were like, I don't think my friends liked it. They said it was disturbing.
Yeah, it was along that line. Um,
And they're not wrong. It is
yeah.
disturbing. You don't
Yeah,
have to tell the story of it. I just
I
wanted to know
don't.
what you thought.
Yes, I liked it. It was effective how they showed you could still be scared even if most of the movie takes place in the daytime. You have Leatherface, coming out of the door and grabbing one of the girls and dragging her back in. She gets put on the hook.
Ugh.
Um, and the first scene where he's introduced was really creepy because he just comes out all of a sudden, and if you don't know
Yeah.
what's going to happen, then it's like, oh my god, who's this guy? And he gets like brained with a hammer, and he's twitching on the floor, and it's all creepy.
Sally.
Yeah, it's all creepy. And my friends said it was gory, really gory. I wouldn't say it was.
No.
And we got into an argument, and I tried to explain it, but
It's one of
you know,
those movies where I think your brain kind of messes with you. Like it's gross what happens for sure, but it's not really a gory film.
it's not outright guts.
No.
It's more just blood, and you have like animal bones made into couches and like chicken feathers all around, cages. It's
Yeah, it's
creepy.
creepy.
Yeah. And you have I don't know how long that dinner table scene lasted. That was great. It was focusing on her eye most of the time, and she was just screaming, and they were all mocking her.
Yeah, I've mentioned it before, but when I've only seen it once, and that's probably enough.
Yeah.
The As the movie continues, I became more anxious because the the shots just get more claustrophobic. So by the end of the movie, I'm like, I cannot breathe. This movie's crazy.
Yeah.
2022.
Yes. So I saw this before you did, and I never thought you'd watch it. I was very surprised by that.
No, because
Um,
no,
yeah.
gory movies aren't my thing. And I heard this was pretty gross.
Yes.
So I didn't have much of a desire to watch it, but I was sitting with your brother one night and he's like, "We're going to watch this." I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I don't know."
That sucked. I wish I was there because there are some violent scenes. You have
And
the guy getting his like leg snapped in the other direction. Yeah.
And you know, your brother thinks it's so haha funny because he knows all the gross scenes that are
Yeah.
coming up, and he waits and he just laughs because I'm like, oh Lord. What did you think of 2022?
I think it's more of a guilty pleasure than it being actually good. I think it would have been a lot better if they didn't have Sally come back, and then I know you said this. It's like 2018, Halloween 2018, where Laurie Strode comes back to fight Michael, and and then Sally comes back to fight or find Leatherface. But the difference is Sally just stands there and she's like, "Do you remember me? Do you remember me and the people killed?" And she's like, "Okay, I don't remember you. I'm gonna like go out here and kill these people."
Yes. Not only that,
Yeah.
she could have literally shot him
Yes.
800 times.
Yeah.
She stood there for so long, and it's just like, honey, bang, 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 bang. You could have
Yeah.
done that so many times, but her returning to the movie or the franchise was not good. If
Yeah.
they had left her out, it would have been so much better because she does nothing.
And
It is ridiculous. It's because you have a lot of like modern young people, but I think that's why I got a kick out of it. Because this is probably how they would react to a situation like this. I'm sure it can be a guilty pleasure. I just had a good time with it, except when Sally showed up. I was like, this
Yeah.
is lame. And then the very end, I was like, what?
Yeah.
You want to talk about The Shining?
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we saw now you've seen The Shining before,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so we have a local theater here downtown, and it opened up in 1949. It's called the Crest Theater, and beautiful old theater, but it's been closed and abandoned, and then then I think it was a church at one time, and now they play older movies every Friday and Saturday night. So we went and saw The Shining, and it was a lovely time. You know what I noticed this time around, and I don't know why I never noticed it before, how disorienting the movie can be, uh, between how Stanley Kubrick sets up the shots, and sometimes it's meant to disorient you. I mean, yeah, you have the maze outside, but then the way he shoots inside the Overlook Hotel, some of the angles, it's disorienting. And then also the other thing, for some reason I noticed, was how strong Wendy is, because they couldn't have gotten a more frail actress than Shelley Duvall. God bless her. But she just looks frail. She's a little skinny thing. She couldn't weigh more than 100 pounds. And she is all alone with her abusive husband, and then his descent into madness, and then a son who has this ability and doesn't know how to handle it. But she stays strong for her son until the very end, and I appreciated that.
Let's go to Scream 6.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's your take on the Scream films?
Oh, well, I think the first one's the best. No doubt about it. I didn't like 2 at first. But I think as I kept watching them, it's definitely one of the better sequels. 3 is fine. I think if we're talking about the first 3, it's my least favorite, but it was fine. Okay, I'll say I liked pretty much all of them except for 5. I I did not like 5. Um,
Okay.
I think it's the characters didn't get that much development until 6. I think that's why I like 6 more. And I didn't like that they went back to the house in 1. It just
And
it in 5 they went back to the house from the first movie,
oh,
and
yes, yes, yes. Okay.
I don't know. It just felt like they were rehashing 1, which I know if they're rebooting it, that's how it kind of goes. Halloween, it kind of has references, or they go back to the same place.
Hmm.
Um, 6 was really really good. It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For being the sixth movie in a franchise, it was still pretty solid.
yeah.
I
They,
don't know. I don't know
yeah.
where they're going to go with the next one.
I don't know. What would you rate them?
All of them?
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. So one for sure is my favorite.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm pretty much in order, except I would go one, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 5.
Okay.
Eh, how about you?
I would probably go 1, 2. This is where it gets complicated because I don't know if I'd say 4 or 6 next. I'd
Hold
probably
on,
go
hold on.
1, 2,
Okay,
1,
1,
2,
2. Okay.
1, 2, 4, 6, 3, 5.
Oh, you put 3 that low. Okay.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I think it was fine. But I liked all the other ones more, but it's definitely not as bad as 5. And 5 isn't
Okay.
even that like it's not terrible by any means. I just think it's my least favorite of the series.
Yeah, that's the thing with the Scream movies. I don't think any of them are horrible.
Yeah.
They're all entertaining in their own
Yeah.
way. How about Night of the Living Dead 1990?
Ooh, okay.
What'd you think
Um,
about that one?
yeah, it was good.
Do you like the
I
original?
yeah, it's okay. Well, it's obviously like dated, but you could see how it laid the foundation for like all these zombie movies. Yeah, I really liked the changes to Barbara's character. She wasn't just like sitting on the couch the whole day, the whole movie.
Yeah, she was
She had
pretty useless.
she had something to do, and it was nice seeing how she was pretty helpless to she was fighting with Tony Todd's character Ben, and you have like this group of bikers, and I it kind of reminded me of the bikers in Dawn a lot.
Yeah, that's kind of a very Tom Savini thing.
Yeah. Um, so you had the humanizing zombies like in Day. You had the bikers like in Dawn. I would still say I like the original more, but this is a really good remake.
Yeah, it is.
I would say the only thing I didn't like would be the sound effects for the zombies.
Oh yeah,
When they hit them, it sounds rubbery, but they
yeah.
look better.
Mhm.
They look a lot better.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's they needed maybe a little better sound effects. Like if you're hitting a head, the one of the zombies' heads, it should be more of like a hard skull sound, and it did. It sounded rubbery.
Yeah, but yeah, it was good. Okay,
I,
well, I
I I
wanted
thought it
to.
was good. I still enjoyed the original as well,
Yeah,
but this was a nice companion to it. What do you
what is
enjoy better, dawn or day?
that's hard.
It
Um,
is.
I w- if I say if I enjoy, I'd probably say Dawn. I had a lot of fun with it.
Well, what else do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about Totally Killer?
Oh yeah, I totally forgot to watch that. Yeah, people were saying it was pretty good, and I would disagree. I thought it was extremely
Really?
mediocre.
And it's
I
on Netflix? Is that where we watched it? I don't
mm,
remember.
no
Hulu?
Prime.
Paramount?
I mean, what?
Prime?
So I maybe
Tubi?
Paramount. I don't know. Um,
Pluto?
yeah, you can list off every
Every
streaming
streaming
service.
Disney
Um,
Plus?
it was fine. I don't get the huge appeal. I think the main the main actress was like good in her role. I think the main character was a bit annoying, especially since a lot of the jokes are kind of. I mean, you could say this about Back to the Future too, which they reference a lot, but it's like, oh yeah, there's the racism, or it's
Oh
like,
yeah.
oh you can't say that, or it's like fat Trish or something. It's
Yeah, because
come
just
on,
for
we
quick
don't.
reference, the main character travels back into the
Yes,
80s and
yes,
she's taking her 2023 mentality with her back
yeah.
to the 80s, and she's just like, oh no, you can't do that, you can't say that.
That
I mean,
it was a bit annoying, but it definitely
yeah,
didn't like ruin the movie.
no,
Um, yeah, for the most part, I liked her character. And this isn't a serious movie at all. I mean, there's
no.
serious scenes, but it's mostly just comedy.
And the killer surprised me. I was like, oh,
Yeah, I didn't
okay.
expect it was going to be.
It was entertaining. It was fine. It's worth a watch.
Yeah.
Pope's Exorcist.
Ooh, yes.
I
Let me
enjoy.
mark this off.
I enjoyed that one probably far more than I should have. I had a good time with it. And it's because of Russell Crowe's performance.
Yeah.
He was
Um,
really good, and the young man, the younger boy who's the possessed boy, he did a really good job.
I like that he would just call people like cuckoo to
Yeah,
mess with them sometimes. That was kind of funny.
yeah,
The main house, where it was like the demon was. I don't remember if it was a demon or it was just.
yeah.
I think it was a demon.
Okay.
The main house looked great,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
uh, the music choices were all pretty fitting, especially since most of it comes from the kid He was listening
Hmm.
to it was like a Walkman, I think. I cared about the family who were going through it. I liked Russell Crowe's character. I kind of hope it just stays this one movie.
Oh yeah.
I don't, because they set it up as like this like John Wick, like Pope team, demon hunting team. I was like,
I don't
no,
want a Pope's Exorcist multiverse.
it's
Just
just
leave it at this.
this one movie, and it's a solid, enjoyable movie, and Russell Crowe's great.
Yeah, I
Yep.
agree.
All right, let's go to Boogeyman, the Boogeyman.
Okay, you're gonna have to refresh my memory on this one. I remember seeing it, but go ahead.
So Stephen King short story. It's the one in the closet. It kills the kids, and you think it's the dad who did it.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
That movie.
Okay.
I rewatched it a few days ago. It was good. I think the monster was very creepy. It's very active too. It's not just. I mean, it's in the background a lot of the scenes, and you see its eyes, and that's creepy. There are very like creative scenes. You have the video game where she presses the trigger and it lights up the room. You
Yes, yes,
have the
yes.
refrigerator scene. You have the shotgun trap scene. It's all these different ways of using light.
It was creative.
Yeah, it's creative. The monster's creepy. I liked the characters, and I liked how the ending it plays off. If you read the short story, you think, okay, this is going to be exactly like the short story where the therapist is the monster. No, she closes the closet door and the movie ends.
Real quick, I want to talk about Pumpkinhead. I know you haven't seen Pumpkinhead yet.
Yeah.
The original one. I had seen it before, and then I watched it again the other night, and it is really becoming one of my favorite like spooky movies. It's done so well. Stan Winston directed the film. The the vibe of the film, the look, the creature design, uh it's really good. And I listened to the audio commentary and learned quite a bit. Um I've been debating picking up the 4K. I have the Blu-ray release, so if anyone has the 4K, let me know how the transfer is. Then I decided to watch part two.
Blood
That
Wings.
was, huh?
Blood Wings.
Blood
Blood
Wings. That
Wings.
blood, yeah, like blood.
Wings.
Um, that was a mistake. It was bad.
That noise.
I have no idea.
Oh, who knows what that was?
I don't know. It was horrible. It's a straight to video release.
Mm-hmm.
So everything that was good about the original Pumpkinhead was stripped away. Like even the creature looked okay in this one, but the story is just I don't know if it's the story or just the execution of the story and the acting. Ay ay ay. I did not like it one bit. And I know there's two more Pumpkinhead movies, but I'll maybe see if those are on streaming.
All right.
Yeah, but definitely the first one is so good.
I want to go to Beetlejuice.
Oh yeah, I forgot we watched
That's
that.
getting a sequel for some reason.
After all these years.
Yeah.
Yeah, we sat down and watched it. And that was a first time watch for you, and it had been
Yes.
I don't know how many years since I've seen it.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was creative. Um, you had like the sandworms and all these different creatures that come with the afterlife. And I liked the couple that died, and it was funny seeing how they messed with the family that moved in.
Yeah.
And you had Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice, and he was great.
Yeah, I agree. It still holds up really well. I think there was only maybe one scene that kind of looked dated, but
It was the sandworm scene.
I think that's what
Yeah.
it was. It looks a little dated, but I mean, shoot, it's just it's a fun movie. It is.
Yeah.
I don't know why why they're making a sequel, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Um, Winona Ryder's also in it, right?
Yes. Yeah. She's the
In the sequel,
um. Oh, I don't.
I think
Maybe.
Winona Ryder and the new creepy girl. Who's that? Who's that new girl? The Wednesday
Um.
Adams girl,
I don't
the
remember.
Ortega girl.
Do you think she's a good pick?
For Winona Ryder's daughter in this role, yes. I honestly I do. Like if you would ask me, okay, her character Winona Ryder's character in Beetlejuice, who do you think her daughter would be? I would say, oh yeah,
Yeah.
Jenny Ortega is a good pick.
Let's go to Hereditary. That's such a fun one.
Oh, oh, that's a good time for everyone.
Yay.
Go ahead, you start with this one.
Okay, well, I knew coming into it that there was going to be the cult. I knew that the sister was going to be decapitated. I knew how it was
Oh,
going to.
you knew that? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But it was still very creepy and disturbing. All the actors were great. It's like I think her last name's Colette.
Tony Collette, yeah.
Tony Collette. I don't know. Did she win something for her role? Because
No,
she was amazing.
she was amazing.
You had the dinner scene, especially the dinner scene. I mean, everything else is great, and the Jumanji actor using Jumanji.
The Jumanji actor.
He was the son.
Oh, yes, 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 yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he was really good.
He was great especially when he gets like possessed. He smashes his nose on the desk. Um, that is I think scariest movie I've seen so far. I do not want to rewatch that. It's just disturbing.
It is. Out of all these movies that you've seen, that is interesting that that's the one that bothered you the most.
I think it's just because it's you care so much for the family, and then it all just goes down. Like you have the husband, he won't believe the mom, and the mom's going a little bit crazy, and she puts her faith in the the uh the talk group. She's part of the group, and she turns out
Yes.
to not be so trustworthy. You have the trying to
It's
contact
it's all a
con-
setup.
trying to contact the dead, and when she's in the car and she hears the click, that startled me because I wasn't expecting that.
The cult,
Yeah,
they're so relentless and uncaring for this family. They only want one thing, and they've been trying to get this one thing for so long.
yeah,
And they don't care who it destroys or anything. It's something.
yeah,
The music, the shot composition, everything. The acting is great. I mean, across the board, it's great. But Tony Collette, even and the young girl, the Jumanji kid, Gabriel Byrne.
it's very good, but I'm not gonna rewatch it.
It bothered you that much?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like I don't want to rewatch that.
When so it was my one girlfriend and I, the other one didn't come when we saw Hereditary.
Mhm.
And there weren't that many people in the theater when we saw it. And the scene where Tony Collette is like in the corner of the boy's bedroom, we were both like, is that him up? Like we were so into this movie, and I'm like, Amy, she's in the corner of that room. And oh my gosh, we
Yeah,
couldn't even bear what was going on.
and they set it up really well, especially if you watch it a second time. Um, you have like you figure out why the grandma didn't want Charlie to be a girl, and it's all the setup.
Hmm.
And it might confuse you at first, and it's like, oh, no, that makes sense now.
Yeah.
And even the car scene, which I knew was coming, that was still like I don't want to rewatch that again
It's disturbing.
because it doesn't even focus on her getting killed. It's more just him knowing it happened, and he does not want to turn around.
No,
And he avoids looking in the mirror.
it's a very real
Yeah.
reaction.
I do want
Go
to
ahead.
mention Killer Clowns from Outer Space because I just watched that
Oh,
an
yeah.
hour or
Okay.
two ago. It was so goofy, and it knows it's goofy. And there's the clowns are really creepy looking, surprisingly, and they turn people into cotton candy cocoons. And there's
Really?
yeah, it's so goofy. And then there's
Did you
this
like it?
yeah,
Okay.
it's very enjoyable. There's this big clown at the end, and then they destroy it.
Okay.
It's good.
All right. That's cool. That's
And
good. That's one
they're making it into a game too.
I have heard that. Yes. That's a movie that's just eluded me over the years. I've never seen that one, but maybe I'll
Yeah.
check it out.
Yeah, that was on Shudder.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then I know because we're recording this on, I don't know what the date is, the 21st something, 21st. So we have 10 days left, and I know in our little stack of things to watch before Halloween, we have to finish Salem's Lot.
Oh yeah,
it's good. It's a lengthy.
It's
slow. The sequel,
Mhm.
I think, Return to Salem's Lot, and I want to watch the Rob Lowe version.
Is that a movie? The sequel?
I
Is
think
a movie? Or...
So
the sequel to Salem's Lot. Is that a TV show like Salem's Lot is, or is it a movie? Okay,
I don't know. And then the Rob Lowe one. If I had to guess, I would say yes, it was a TV movie, but I don't know for sure. What else do we have? Ghost Watch, which I bought last year, and they had actually, the company that released it delayed the movie till I think closer to Christmas. So I've been sitting on it this whole year.
Yeah.
So Ghost Watch, and then, well, I'm not going to mention that other one because you're going to make me watch it.
Poltergeist? We're watching that.
No.
Oh my god, the paper mache.
That movie, it spooks me out.
Watch it, and it's going to be fun.
Okay. And then we've got some cartoons. We've got, of course, Charlie Brown.
Oh.
You know what? I don't know what it is with you boys in the Charlie Brown movies that you are so fed up with them.
Because we watch it like every year.
That's what you do. So Charlie Brown, and then I want to watch Scooby-Doo Zombie Island.
Okay, yeah.
And then I have like a bootleg. It's from the early 80s. It was on the Disney Channel. So it's like the Disney Halloween special. Mm-hmm. So there's that one. I want to say we're missing one in there. Poltergeist, Ghost Watch, the Salem Lots. Maybe that's it.
Okay, so this one will be short. Let's go to Portrait of God.
That one for sure is on YouTube.
Yes.
It's only, what, 7 minutes?
Oh, yeah. It's a short thing.
It's really good. It's called Portrait of God.
Yes.
And you showed it to me. I was like, wow, this is really effective.
Yeah. It was creepy.
Go give it a watch on YouTube. It's very good.
And there's also like a making of video too.
Oh, okay.
So
all right.
We'll see.
Okay. Yeah, we'll stop it here, and because we have a lot more movies to talk about, we'll pick it up at another time and continue with our conversation. But thank you, son. Thank you so much. This was great.
All right.
I'm gonna look at you, silly.
Okay.
He left. That's horrible. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. Let us know if you have any comments or feedback about the movies we watched, and we will catch you guys next time.